Dear students, today we will go through the antigen presenting cells. Antigen presenting cells or APCs are actually a heterogeneous group of immune cells. It can trigger immune response by processing and ultimately presenting different antigens on the surface of cell, so that these antigen can be recognized by different lymphocytes, for example the T lymphocytes, for further processing. One among the antigen presenting cells is the group of macrophages. Macrophages actually have three main functions. One is phagocytosis, other is antigen presentation, and ultimately the cytokine production. As far as phagocytosis is concerned, firstly what happens when any antigen or any foreign particle in the form of bacteria or virus that comes in contact with this macrophage, the macrophage will ingest that particle, and as we know already that different macrophages have receptors on the cell surface. They can have Fc receptors as well as the receptor for C3b, which is also a very important opsonin. With Fc3 receptor of the macrophage, there will be an interaction of Fc portion of IgG. As you know that the Fc portion of IgG will interact with its receptor, which is found on the surface of macrophage. This interaction will actually enhance the uptake of organisms, which is opsonized. After ingestion of bacteria or any other foreign particle, the phagosome, which is now containing the microbe, that will fuse with lysosome, which is present in the cell, and it will give rise to the phagolysosome. And ultimately in phagolysosome there will be killing and degradation of that microbe. This killing takes place due to presence of different reactive oxygen species as well as reactive nitrogen compounds, and there are certain other enzymes which are coming in the phagolysosome from lysosome. So these lysosomal enzymes will ultimately degrade all that microbe which would be in the phagolysosome. Here you can see how the bacteria will come and in contact with different receptors which are present on the surface of phagocytes or macrophages, and ultimately that bacteria will be ingested and a phagosome will be formed in the cell. This phagosome actually interacts with the lysosome and its fusion results in phagolysosome. Within phagolysosome there will be destruction of that foreign particle, which is bacteria. Here in this case you can see in the diagram, and ultimately it will be degraded, and all the debris or the broken part of that bacteria can be actually thrown out of the cell, or it will be presented to different other cells when it will get in touch with its respective receptors on the cell surface. Foreign material is ingested, and ultimately the fragments of antigen are presented on the macrophage cell surface. And you know that this presentation of the fragments needs MHC molecules, which is MHC2 protein in this case, if it is to be presented to the CD4 positive helper T cells. And the degradation of these foreign proteins is actually stopped when the fragment associates with class 2 MHC protein in the cytoplasm. The complex is then transported to the cell surface, and the proteins which are involved in this transportation to take these fragments to the cell surface are called as transporter proteins. Third very important role which is played by the macrophages is production of cytokines. Macrophages can produce different cytokines which can be chemokines or the monokines, and very important and discussable are interleukin 1 as well as the tumor necrosis factor. Interleukin 1 is actually very important for activation of helper T cells, while the later is important for inflammatory mediation. In addition, macrophages can also produce interleukin 8, which is a chemokine, and it can attract neutrophils and different T cells to the site of infection. These all functions of macrophages are enhanced when there is a process called macrophage activation that takes place. Macrophages are activated by induction of different substances, which can be bacterial endotoxins, for example lipopolysaccharide, or it can be peptidoglycan present in the bacterial cell, or it can be bacterial DNA. Here comes another question, that how bacterial DNA will be distinguished as foreign and would not be confused with that of the human one. The answer of this question is actually that the human DNA is methylated while the bacterial DNA is unmethylated. So this is a line of differentiation between both types of DNAs. So the DNA of bacterial cell will be considered as a foreign particle, and these substances interact with different toll-like receptors. We have discussed toll-like receptors in very much detail in previous lectures. These toll-like receptors can be present on surface of macrophages, and interaction of these substances with the toll-like receptors ultimately trigger a signal in the cell which ends up by production of different cytokines. These all cytokines are very important to set the criteria for further action, whether there is inflammation needed or there is need of anti-inflammatory cytokine production, so that the infection can be cleared accordingly. Macrophages are also can be activated by the gamma interferons, which can be produced by helper T cells. This gamma interferon increases synthesis of MHC2 proteins, which will ultimately enhance antigen presentation as well as the microbicidal activity which is performed by the macrophages. Macrophages are derived from bone marrow histiocytes, and then they exit as free macrophages in form of monocytes, and in the form of fixed in tissue cells, which is in the form of Kupffer cells of liver. Macrophages migrate to the site of inflammation, and at the site of inflammation they are attracted by certain mediators of inflammation, for example C5a, which is a very important anaphylatoxin and is released in the complement cascade, which is a group of soluble proteins in the body. Now we will discuss dendritic cells, which are very important main inducers of primary antibody response. They are known as professional antigen presenting cells, rather than the macrophages and the B cells, which are also very important antigen presenting cells. The dendritic cells express MHC2 protein, and they present the antigen to CD4 positive T cells, which are the helper T cells. Dendritic cells are known as the dendritic cells because they have many long narrow processes which are found on the cell surface, and these dendrites actually resemble to that of the neuronal dendrites. Due to their presence, the cell becomes very efficient at making contact with different foreign particles, as these dendrites are actually increasing surface area of the dendrite also. Dendritic cells are primarily located under the skin and mucosa, for example the Langerhans cells, which are found in the skin. Dendritic cells migrate from their location, which is already described that it is found in skin or the mucosa. They will migrate from that area to the local lymph node, and in the local lymph node they will ultimately present antigen to different helper CD4 positive T cells. Now we will summarize the interaction of antigen presenting cells, T cells and the B lymphocytes. The interactive process is initiated by the ingestion of any foreign particle. For example, if there is some bacteria which comes in contact with the antigen presenting cell, that will be ingested first and ultimately that will be degraded in the cell. For example, if on the skin there is some bacteria and then it comes in contact with some dendritic cell which is found under the skin, it will be ingested by the dendritic cell, and that dendritic cell will actually migrate to the lymph node via the lymph vessels, and this all process is done because the chemokines attract these dendritic cells to that specific lymph node area. There the dendritic cell will present the antigen to helper T cell, and that helper T cell will certainly contain some TCR or the T cell receptor on the surface. So that surface receptor is specific for the antigen. So there will be interaction between antigen and that surface receptor which is present on the T cell surface. While this whole process is occurring, there is another important fragment movement of the microbe which circulates to the lymph node, and ultimately they will bind to the B cell receptor or the B antigen receptor, which is IgM. We have already discussed that there are certain IgM molecules which are present on the membrane, and they are actually serving as the B cell antigen receptors. So that fragment of the microbe will circulate and ultimately will bind to that membrane IgM. That antigen is internalized, processed and ultimately presented to the helper T cell, which is having a respective correct receptor on the surface. There are several chemokines and chemokines receptors which are supposed to facilitate the migration of these cells to the area, conjunctional area in the lymph node, where they can have interaction with each other. For example, the chemokine receptor CCR7 can play a very important role in this concern. The proximity of B cell to the helper T cell allows interleukin production by the helper T cells, which will effectively activate the B cells to produce more antibodies, and antibody synthesis will be enhanced in the lymph nodes. The antigen antibody complex will be detected by the activated B cells, and B cells will actually undergo the affinity maturation process and ultimately will start production of different antibodies. This affinity maturation is actually improvement in the affinity of an antibody for antigen that occurs upon repeated exposure to the antigen. Like if an antigen comes across any antibody for the very first time, then this is the first exposure of antigen to the antibody, and when this exposure will be repeated, then there will be improvement in the affinity of that antibody for that specific antigen, and that is what we call as the affinity maturation. FDCs or follicular dendritic cells produce the chemokines also, which will attract B cell to the follicles in the spleen, as well as another group of cells which is discussable is called as the natural killer cells. They are very important cells concerning the innate host defense. They are specialized in killing different cells, mostly those cells which become infected with the viruses or are the tumor cells. The fate of the cell is death. So that killing can be done by the cytotoxic T cells as well as the natural killer cells. The natural killer cells can kill the tumor cell as well as the virus infected cell by two important ways. One is secretion of different cytotoxins, for example the perforins as well as the gray enzymes, This is what we have already studied, how the T lymphocytes produce granzymes and perforins for their cytotoxic activity, and they can kill the tumor cell or the cell which is infected with the viruses. The natural killer cell can also participate in fast ligand mediated cell death or apoptosis. They are called as natural killer cells because they are active without prior exposure to the virus. They are not enhanced by the exposure of the viruses, and they are not specific for any type of virus. Here you can see how a natural killer cell, which is having Fc receptor on the surface, that will interact with the target cell, which is shown as a cancer cell in this case. The target cell will certainly present different specific type of antigen on the surface, what is not present on the surface of a normal cell, and that specific antigen will interact with the Fc receptor which is present on the NK cell, and ultimately the natural killer cell will start production of different perforins and the granzymes which will act as the cytotoxin and will affect the cancer cell, and ultimately the cancer cell will die. Natural killer cells can kill without help of any antibody, but antibody like IgG can enhance the effectiveness, and that is what happens in case of antibody dependent cellular cytotoxicity, in which the antibodies actually help to kill the cell. Here you can see that the natural killer cells will interact with some antibodies, and with help of these antibodies there will be expansion in the natural killer cell, and there will be a larger set of cells which will be produced, which can actually make interferon gamma or the perforins and the granzymes, and will affect the target cell, and the target cell will go through the cytotoxic process. Approximately 5 to 10% of the peripheral lymphocytes are the natural killer cells, and they resemble in their function with the T cytotoxic cells, but they have different distinctions from the T cells. They have several T cell markers on the surface, as the T lymphocyte will contain, but as far as the differences of both are concerned, we will discuss in the detail. Why natural killer cells are different from the cytotoxic T cells? Because they don't need to pass through the thymus for their maturation. As you remember that the T cells will mature only in the thymus. Necessarily they can mature in the thymus, but natural killer cells don't need to go over there. No immunological memory is found in the natural killer cells, as the T cells can become mature and become memory T cells, but natural killer cells don't memorize. There is absence of any T cell receptor on the surface of a natural killer cell, as the TCR is present on the T cell surface. Killing which will take place via the natural killer cells wouldn't require any recognition of the MHC proteins as the T cell require. In fact, natural killer cells have certain receptors that will detect the presence of class 1 MHC protein. And what is important in this concern, it will actually keep in the consideration how sufficient is the presence of MHC1 protein on the surface of cells. If it is adequate and the display is sufficient, then the cell wouldn't be killed by the natural killer cell. But what happens in case of different viral infections, that the cells which is infected with the viruses and certain tumor cells, they wouldn't display significant amount of MHC proteins on the surface. And if there is reduced amount of MHC1 on the surface, that will be recognized by the natural killer cell, and those cells will be killed by the natural killer cells. Humans who lack the natural killer cells are predisposed to life-threatening infections, for example infection of different viruses, Natural killer cells actually detect presence of cancer cells via the recognition of those proteins which are specifically presented on surface of only the tumor cells and are not found on the surface of normal cells. For example, the mica protein, and interaction of this mica with the receptor which is present on the natural killer cell, that will trigger the production of different cytotoxins by the natural killer cells, and these cytotoxins will actually cause death of that specific tumor cell which is containing mica protein on the surface. Thank you.